Hey guys, it's Bonnie. Today I'm here to do a bit of an unhaul, Marie Kondo style. Now I haven't watched Marie Kondo's Netflix series, nor have I read her book, but from the internet I've pretty much heard of her method of holding something up, asking if it gives you joy, and then if the answer is no, you get rid of it. So I'm kind of doing something like that today because I wanted to rearrange one of my bookshelves and I realized I had some books on there that I probably didn't need. I have a little clip of that. Let's roll it. So I probably should have showed myself doing this, but I thought of this video after I had already done it. So like I said, I wanted to rearrange this shelf, and while I was doing it, I decided to do a little bit of an unhaul. I tried out the Marie Kondo method where you like, does this bring me joy kind of thing. I don't know if that's exactly the question I asked myself, but you know, ignore that pile of garbage. But from there, I took every book off the shelf and I made piles, books I wanted to keep, a maybe pile, and then a definitely gonna get rid of pile. So as you can see, I already organized the books how I wanted to organize them. I like how it's looking much better. And then here I have my two piles, my maybe pile and my definitely gonna get rid of pile. I did this last night, so I had a little time to like marinate on my decisions over here. Marinate, what am I, a chicken? So then I also have this shelf over here, which is my like series shelf or whatever. I don't think I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the other shelf because for the most part I am happy with how this is set up. I don't really want to rearrange it. Plus these like first two shelves here have some of my favorite books of all time. They're like my favorites section, so obviously I don't want to get rid of any of them. A girl do need to be dusting though, because yikes. I do think I am going to quickly go through the bottom of these shelves just to see if there's anything that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be back with like my wrap up of sorts. I don't know. Okay, so I have my two piles, my maybe getting rid of and my definitely getting rid of. I'm gonna go through the definitelys first because that just makes sense. So this first little section of no's are just books that I read for school that I don't feel any need to hang on to. So we have Jihad in Paradise, The Poetry of Our World, and Sacred Ground. Then I'm getting rid of this copy of The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks because it is literally disgusting. I don't know if you can see. There's like, I don't even know what that is, ketchup, grape jelly. It's really beaten up and it's a mass market paperback, which I don't love, so I think I'm just gonna get a normal version of this book because I did really love it when I read it, so I would like a copy, just not this one. I'm getting rid of Landline by Rainbow Rowell. Didn't really enjoy this that much. None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio. I just thought this was average. It wasn't bad, it wasn't great. I know I'm never gonna reread it, so if I could pass it along to someone that this book would be really impactful for, sounds like a great thing in my book. Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. I did not like this book. Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend by Matthew Dix. Again, just average, never gonna reread it. And Dangerous Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stahl. I wish that I loved this book because I loved the Beautiful Creatures series. I don't know what my opinion would be today, but I was super excited to read this book because it was going to be following Ridley, who I absolutely loved. But this book really let me down and I never read the sequel and I'm definitely not planning to. Kind of sucks because I did order a signed version of this book, but you know, hopefully whoever gets this next really loves it. Those are it for my definitelys. Now I have to go through my maybe pile and kind of decide. So first on the maybe pile is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. This is a book that a lot of people really love, but I thought it was just okay. Cons of getting rid of it is it's really pretty, for one. Like that's half of my reason for my maybes is I'm like, but I love the cover. But I feel like that's kind of a dumb decision to keep it because I'm never looking at the cover unless I'm like pulling it out and like displaying it or something, which I'm not. So I think this one has to go because it was just okay and someone else might like it a lot more. Then I have Teen Angst Knob by Ned Vizzini. I really enjoyed this, but I just know I'm never gonna reread it and I don't know if I need to hold on to it. I used to think that Ned Vizzini might be my favorite author, but I've since discovered that's not the case. He's a good author and I enjoy a lot of the books that I've read by him. But this one just didn't like stick with me that much, so I guess I'm gonna get rid of it. Oh my god, this is literally just gonna be me convincing myself to get rid of these books. Every Day by David Levithan. I really enjoyed this when I read it. I don't know, when I look at it I'm just like, do I need this in my collection? Am I ever gonna read it again? No. But what's the reason for like keeping a book? Because I definitely have books that I'm never gonna read again that I still want to keep. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. This one's really cute, but it was just really average. I absolutely love this cover. Like I think it's one of the cutest covers ever. I realize I'm just gonna be saying the same thing, so maybe I should just go through these and call them no's unless I've changed my mind. How to Love by Katie Katugno. know. I wanted to love this, but I just didn't like the love interest. If the love interest had been better, it might have been a 5-star book because I gave it like 3.5 stars, but the love interest just brought it down so much. But again, I love the cover. It's so pretty. I talked about this a little bit in my video about lowering my TBR, where I'm constantly stuck between wanting to be a minimalist and being a hoarder that is emotionally attached to every object I own. And that's the case with books like these where they're so pretty and I'm like, I love the concept, I just didn't love the execution. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of it for the shelf space. Let It Snow, my John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. These are 3 holiday romances. I could potentially read them again because I don't remember anything, but I don't think I really liked this that much. I think I probably gave it like, oh, I think I gave it like 3 stars, maybe even 4 stars. But I think if I read it again, it would be 3 stars, just like average, not something I want to reread every holiday, you know? I have this weird thing with John Green books though. I'm like, I should keep them because he's John Green, but is that stupid? It's stupid, right? Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Kahn and David Levithan. Well, I cannot read. Wow. I remember really loving this, but that was a long time ago. And when I look at it, I'm like, I want to read it again someday? No, I don't get that feeling, even though it is a holiday kind of thing, like read it around Christmas time and it can be fun, but probably take my tabs out though. I don't even know why. I know one of these tabs is literally because they mentioned the Jonas Brothers, and that's literally so freaking funny because they're back. Sorta Like a Rock Star by Matthew Quick. Again, I thought this was just okay. I do have other Matthew Quick books, so it's kind of like a collection, but again, is that stupid? I don't know. I mean, I do know. It's gonna be a no. It's gonna donate wherever. It's gonna go somewhere that's not my house. What We Saw by Erin Hartzler. This was a really impactful book. Like, it was impactful in the moment, but I never think about it, which I think says something about a book. Like, a book can be 3 stars, but I could still think about it or just have like a reason for wanting to keep it. But if a book, even if it's like 4 stars, which I think is what I gave this one, if I don't ever think about it again, it's just sitting there, right? I don't know, this is so hard. I want to keep every book ever, but I also want to be a minimalist. Anyway, this isn't like that hard over this book in particular, but that's how I feel about a lot of books. So Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I didn't like this book. I think I gave it 2 stars, maybe 3. I don't know. I think it was like a 2-star book though. My reason for maybe keeping it was like, it's a classic, a modern classic kind of thing. Like, a lot of people own this, a lot of people read it, but I didn't like it. It's also very pretty. I love blue. It's like my favorite color, so yeah. I would just send her to a different home. Okay, this one's hard for reasons that you'll see when I hold it up. Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. Now, this was, I think, J.K. Rowling's first post Potter book. I remember when it came out, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna read it, hell yeah. I do have like memories of it. Like, my biggest memory is like the character smoking cigarettes, which is really weird. I remember it was like so hard to get through, and I don't know if it's because I was like younger reading this, and it was just very thick with like British terms and things I just did not understand. I remember I still like gave it a good rating, I think. I don't even know. I don't know how I would feel about this if I read it today, but also the idea of reading it today, I would rather not. There's like many other painful things I would rather do before rereading this, because I just remember what a slog it was to get through. The other reason is like, oh, Harry Potter, one of my favorite series of all time. Oh, J.K. Rowling, one of my favorite authors of all time. But is she? Like, years ago, I would have said yes without a doubt. But J.K. Rowling today is very different from J.K. Rowling of the past. Like, she won't shut up and she keeps making everything worse. Ugh, okay, maybe someone else will enjoy it. It's also so like, I wouldn't say it's like a pretty cover, but it's just like, it captures your attention because it's so vibrant. Also, I never understood why the hell there's a castle on the back. Like, Hogwarts, why are you here? Emil and Carl by Janke Glosch. Translated by Jeffrey Chandler. This is like a middle grade book, I would say. What made this unique is that it was written and published, I believe, in like 1942 or something like, no, 1940, a year before the United States entered the war and never before available in English. I think that's just so cool. Like, the story was, I don't want to say basic, it was just like fine. Like, I think I gave it 4 stars, but I just read it because I had this and I needed like a young children's historical fiction book to read for a class. And I had to pick it. I was like, oh, I randomly picked this up at a library book sale, which I don't go to anymore because like I always just picked up random things without knowing what they were. But is like that a reason to keep it because it's translated and like interesting? Like, I think it it is. I think this is gonna be the first one from the maybe pile that I keep, because that is so incredible that this was published in 1940 and we can like read it today. It was like before the world before the world ended. I wish the world would end already. Just kidding. The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I wanted to love this, but I didn't. I love this guy on the cover. I think he's like so hot, but is that a reason to keep it? This is the Owl Crate edition, which is cool. I got it from Whitney. Thanks, Whitney. Sorry that I didn't like it, but I mean, you didn't like it either, obviously, so. But it just did not live up to the hype. And then this is the last book from a maybe pile from that shelf before I get to this shelf. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Once again, this is one of those books that it's one of the biggest books of like modern times right now. Modern times right now. I don't freaking know what I'm saying. But I didn't really like it that much. I know a lot of people loved this, but I thought it was just okay. The back of this has a quote from Huffington Post that says it's delightful, the grown-ups Harry Potter. I beg to differ. Okay, and now my maybes from this shelf. I mean, as we've seen, they're probably all gonna turn into get rid of. First up, the Burn for Burn trilogy by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. They're out of order. First of all, I like the cover for some reason. Like these girls on the cover just like kind of looking like bitches. However, I did like this version better, and somehow I ended up with this, and then I have this because they changed it. I did like this book the most out of the three, but Lord, I hated this book. And you might think, Bonnie, you gave the others mediocre rating. You didn't like this one. It's an obvious choice here. Let me tell you why it's not so obvious. First of all, Jenny Han, I don't know if I have all of her books, because I think she has like some random middle grades out there, but I have The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy, and I have To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy. So it's like, I have her collection. But also I've said that about John Green and Matthew Quick, so you're like, okay, there, we squashed it. Hold on, there's one more reason. Do you see this? This book is signed to me. I didn't like meet them or anything, I just won this on Twitter. But still, they signed the book, and it has both of their signatures on this little thingy that they pasted into the book. I always feel bad when things are personalized to me and then I get rid of them. I didn't like this. Is there a Bonnie out there that wants Ashes to Ashes by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian? Let me know. Next up, The Program duology by Suzanne Young, which I don't think is a duology because I think there's more, but I remember after reading this book I was like, I don't want to read them. I enjoyed The Program and I love this cover, but I did not like the treatment. And I do not like this cover. Do I keep just The Program because I enjoyed it and then just get rid of the treatment? Or do I get rid of both of them? I think I'm just gonna get rid of both of them. I mean, I'm never gonna reread The Program. Hi, I'm filming a video. Do you wanna stay while I do this last part? Okay, so the last things that I had in my maybe pile, which I think are just gonna be get rid of pile, is the Kiss of Deception trilogy series. I don't know if it has another name, by Mary E. Pearson. Oh, the Remnant Chronicles, it says it right there. Dumbass. I liked The Kiss of Deception. I think I gave it like 4 stars. It was good. Second book was boring. Third book, I didn't even finish it. So, get rid of it! The live audience says that I should get rid of it. But do I keep just the first book or do I get rid of all of them? No. The audience has spoken. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna get rid of these because they weren't that good. The first book had so much potential, but the other two, it was a mess. So that was my little unhaul, Marie Kondo style, kind of. Did any of those books bring me joy? No. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you read any of these books. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!